Today's been a little bit of a roller coaster. At one point, I was up $1,000, and I looked at the clock, and it was only 10:30. I do realize it's 11:30 right now, but I've been staring at this VXX, and because I had a plan coming in, I tried to stick to it as best as I could. And I mean, I nailed it, but I was gonna try and hold on to it for the rest of the day. Oh man! So as you can see, I actually am only up $476. It's not like I took any big losses or anything. It's just got a little greedy, but I tried to stick to my plan as best as I could, but the market turned around there for a second. So let's go ahead and get started with the market recap for the day. Let's see here. My first trade of the morning was OSTK. Let me link these two together. Start this on the 1 minute. OSTK. All right. So as you guys know, the market's been tanking for the past 2 days or so. And as of right now, it's just kind of going sideways. The volume's dying out on it. So I'm going to choose to get out and just not participate in it right now. So as you can see, OSTK is actually going straight sideways. So, but either way, OSTK, I got it at 941, somewhere up here. Yeah, so right around here. So, to be honest, I thought this was a 5-minute chart when I first looked at it. Right here. I thought it was a 5-minute chart, and I thought this was the first pullback. So, what I actually ended up doing is I bought it right here at the break of 53 with a stop at 250 or 52.50. So, just like a regular bull flag that I always get in. It's next candle making new high. You stop at the bottom, and we had really good support at a half number. So 52.50 was my stop. Entry was 53. I rode it up to OSTK. I sold 150 at 943. So somewhere around here, and then the last 50 at 54.10. So dang. So I guess as it broke down under it was breaking down under 54. I ended up making 247 on that. I was only risking $100, so I got 2.5 times my risk. Then my next trade was on VSH. VSH. I believe I took this on the 1 minute. Took it under 19. Yep, took it under 19. Actually, no, I ended up taking it on the 5. So right here in this candle, I got in at 952. Scapping down. It pulled up. It bounced right at the 19 mark right here. And just so happened that 19 was also the VWAP. So as it broke down below that, my stop was going to be up here at 1930. So I took 300 shares, as you can see on here, risking about $100. Then, so my target was going to be double that basically. So as you can see, I took 200 out at let's see here. Actually, no, that's right. I added. So right here in this candle, I saw it flash up, and I took advantage of that, and I added another 200. So I was short 500 shares with an average of, I think, what was it? VSH 1898. So I had a good average as it broke down under 19. And I rode it all the way down to VSH. I bought at 1840, so that was my initial target somewhere. VSH 1840, somewhere down here. So I was up 200. Yeah, probably a little bit less than that. And then I left the other 100, and I got it down to 1835. As you can see, it actually kind of came down to 1810, but I didn't really quite catch it. During this time, I was actually watching VXX, so I just decided to sell off the rest of it. I ended up making 3 times my risk, right under $300. Can't really complain about that. And then VXX happened. Man, all right, hold on. Let's see here. Where was I at? Where did I start off on this thing? Went long on VXX right here. All right. So as I explained in my last video, VXX Oh, looks like the market's actually coming down. Not very much though. I'm gonna stay disciplined. I'm gonna stay out of it. All right. So VXX is an inverse ETN. So it's exchange traded notes. So it's not an exchange traded fund. It's a little bit different. This one's 2 times leverage. So it goes the opposite of the market. So I noticed on here that I put the line on here for reference. This is the SPY, basically the same point that where the market closed the gap. So I noticed that as soon as it hits here and it fails, it's going to start coming back up. So I took a note of that, and I actually longed it somewhere around VWAP. So I went long at 51.20. Actually, let's do it on the 5 minutes. Probably a little clearer. 51.20 as it was crossing VWAP. And then another 100 or so another 50. So I had a total of what's it called? 100 shares there. And at one point, I was up $350 or so, and I was like, oh crap, the market's about to tank. You know, I was up already $600 on the day, and my buddy called me. Actually, one of the moderators in the other room, Joey, and then he's like, hey, I'm driving right now. What's the market doing? And as he called me, I saw my account just go 600, 700, 800, 900. I was like, Joey, I got to call you back. And then I just hung up. And at that time, it actually ended up forming, probably a couple minutes later, it ended up forming the reverse hammer. And it started coming back. I literally said, uh-oh, has this happened? And I was like, okay, that's not a good sign. Like me thinking, okay, reverse hammer, it's going to start coming back. Should I sell? I actually ended up holding it because I knew my plan was to just set my stop and just let it ride for the rest of the day. And so I left the screen up, just walked around the house, ate some snacks, did whatever, and I noticed it actually was starting to come back, and I'm like, oh crap, it's gonna kick me out. So I set my stop. I forgot where it was. It was $1 away or so, and so it actually did end up coming back. It kicked me out at 103.50, so I lost $103. And then let's see here, probably is this candle right here that kicked me out. Right at 10:45. Yep, so right here, this candle kicked me out. And then this, as much as I preach it all the time, this was 100% a revenge trade. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was like, oh, I was up so much money. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe it'll come back. So I went ahead and put another long on at 48.90, which was down here. Let's see, what was it? Oh, no, that's right. I went short on it. I went short on it at 48.90, thinking, oh, the market's going to start coming back up, through that reverse hammer, talking myself through it and just convincing myself that it was going to happen. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go short on this. So I went short at 48.90, and I got kicked out 50 shares at 50.09 because it actually started going back down. So 2 red trades on VXX. My plan, as of right now, has not worked, and I want absolutely no part in VXX right now. I'm just glad I was able to take those gains out of OSTK, VSH, and MOH. Oh, actually, that's right. I got to go through the MOH trade with you guys. But I'm glad I was able to get that out, and I had a green day, $476 in an hour. Can't really complain about that at all. So actually, let's go back to this MOH trade. MOH trade right here. So I went short. Where is this thing? Oh, there it is. MOH 81.36. Okay, so it was gapping down with the rest of the market. It pulled up. It double bounced right here under the 9 and under VWAP. And I said, okay, all right, well, as soon as that breaks 81.50, I'm going to get in short. This next candle kind of ripped down past the 81.50 mark, and I got filled at 81.36. I took note of that. I'm like, okay, well, I got to make my target a little bit further. So now I usually would go with the 2-to-1, but I did notice that 80 for this stock is actually very important. So let me pull up the daily on this. So I want to walk you guys through why I made this decision to Actually, it wasn't the 80 mark. Actually, it was 70. It's 78.50 that's actually important. Wow. Okay. Well, either way, I did end up making the right decision. I saw that it kept bouncing here at 80, and then as you noticed here, I wasn't in the market during this time, but no, it wouldn't have kicked me out. But as you can see, it's actually bouncing here at the 80 mark. So obviously, there's a lot of support there. Huh? Wow, I really miscalculated that. It was 78.50. That's a lot of support there. But either way, did made the right choice. Mistake was a good mistake this time. So then I ended up making $97 on it. So I want to show you guys, what the pattern is or what I'm looking for in the morning, either on the 1 minute chart or the 5 minute chart. So if it's gapping down, either I'm doing an ORB or I'm doing a quick pullback buy, or this is the third pattern that I trade in the mornings as well. So it pulls up, it fails to move any higher, it breaks down below the 9 and VWAP, so it double bounces here. And as soon as it does, I know the next candle, if it breaks through, then I'm going to go in short and then put my stop in over the last green candle if I'm going short. So my stop was here at 82.63, so it was about, that's why I took 100 shares, because I was risking about $110, $112 or so. So I was correct on that, and there was support there. As soon as somebody pulls the rug out on you, it's just going to fall through. So it fell through, and I covered at, let's see here, MOH at 80.39. Yeah, at 80.39. So that's what gave me the $97. Probably could have waited a little bit more, but yeah, I was up to $100, and I was really busy with VXX. So also, let me take this time to show you guys. Let me remove these. Drawing, remove drawing. Okay. All right. So they always say that the market is driven by two emotions: fear and greed, right? So, and we always like to say in the room something that I learned from my mentor, and it does make sense. And this, the chart on the SPY for the past couple of days, 100% makes a perfect example of those two emotions. So there's also a saying in the market that bulls take the stairs and bears take the window. So this is what I mean by this. So this right here is basically greedy people saying, okay, I want to get more money, or I think the market's going to go higher, let me go in bigger, and they buy more and they buy more and they buy more, and then it pulls back a little bit, and then they buy more and more and more and more. So now this is all driven by greed, the slow incline. So they take the stairs. That's what I mean by the analogy, that they gradually go up, right? But when things go south, you're overcome by this emotion of fear, like, oh crap, there's my 401k, there's my dream, or if you're in crypto, there goes my Lambo, whatever they're saying, like, I got to get out of here as soon as possible. That's why they say bears take the window. So this is all driven by greed, and as soon as panic sets in, this massive sell-off happens. So this is people fearing for their funds, fearing for their livelihoods. So that's why, if you're going to be in the market, do yourself a favor and learn how to short. Yesterday was a huge red day. The biggest down day in the Dow that we've had in history. This is one of the biggest. Yesterday was also one of the biggest down days that we've had in the SPY in over 2 years. I mean, it's just a small pullback. Yeah, we are below the 50 as well, but every time that we've gone under the 50, we've recovered and came back. So I think most likely that's what's going to end up happening. Is it going to keep falling? Maybe for a couple more days, but I think we're going to essentially come back and just keep climbing, make a lower high, and then maybe sometime this year, maybe early next year or so, maybe the market will take a dump, and then we'll have that huge pullback. But yeah, so back to the fear and greed. So as you can see, this candle right here, from 276 all the way to 263. Compare it to all these little candles right here. So something that you should take away from this is that fear works much more than greed. Just look at this just remember these candles right here and be like, okay, I really need to learn to short because I need to be able to take advantage of massive moves in the market. And just like Warren Buffett says, that you should be greedy when others are fearful, and you should be fearful when others are greedy, right? So I'll leave you guys with that example. If I hadn't said it enough, make sure to join our Facebook group. The link is down in the description. Also, give this this video a thumbs up if you do agree with it or you did learn something from the lesson that I showed you guys today. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.